Throughout NBA history, there have been many quality players who gets forgotten, but once their name gets brought up, you think of them as good scorers. Monte Ellis, for example, had 4 20-plus point seasons. Kevin Martin had 6 of those seasons. Although neither one of these guys ever got the chance to make the All-Star team, they were very good players. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Today, we'll take a look at the worst NBA players all time to average at least 20 points in a single season. Before I make this list, I'm not going to include Antoine Walker or Jamal Mashburn, even though they were very inefficient. Both made an All-Star team. Mashburn even made one All-NBA team. With that said, here are the 10 worst NBA players to ever average 20 points in a season. Antoine Carr. Many may remember him as the guy with the goggles for the late 90s Jazz. Was already into his mid-30s, coming off the bench at that point. The 6'9" power forward had his best scoring season in 1991 with Sacramento, averaged 20.1 points on 51% shooting on a 25-win team. Nothing more than just a role player. Carr was a hard-working guy. His second highest scoring season, 7 points less, averages 9.3 points for his career. A lot better than most of the guys coming up on this list, since he was a factor for many good playoff teams with the Hawks, Spurs, and Jazz. Al Harrington, selected 25th overall out of high school in the 98 draft, the 6'9" power forward is a good scorer, but took a lot of bad shots throughout his career. Had his best year in 08-09, averaged 20.1 points, shot 44% from the field, spent 68 of those 73 games with the awful 32-win Knicks. Considered a stretch 4, but wasn't a great outside shooter. Although he fit in nicely with the We Believe Warriors team, Harrington's just a score-first type guy, averages 13.5 points for his career, but doesn't do anything else that well. A bad rebounder for his size at 5.6 a game, isn't a good foul shooter at 73%. His production in the postseason dipped on good teams, puts up 7.3 points on 37% shooting throughout his playoff career. Pretty much a 4th and 5th option on solid teams. Larry Hughes, the 6'5" 2 guard, had his very best year in 04-05, averaged 22 points, grabbed 6.3 rebounds, dished out almost 5 assists, led the league in steals at almost 3 a game on 43% shooting, even made an All-NBA defensive team, but decided to jump on many passing lanes to pile up his stats, land a big contract, which he did sign for 5 years, $70 million with Cleveland, projected as LeBron's running mate. Hughes was a major disappointment afterwards with Cleveland, wildly inefficient. Hughes also wasn't very good with Chicago or New York afterwards, but very fun to watch in the early to mid 2000s, incredibly inconsistent and injury prone. Tyreke Evans, who peaked during his rookie season with Sacramento, won Rookie of the Year over Steph Curry, averaged 20.1 points, over 5 rebounds, almost 6 assists on 46% shooting. Wasn't a very good outside shooter and never developed a jumper. Evans heavily fell off right after, with the combination of being in a very bad franchise. Once he played off the ball with the Kings, everything went south. Would rejuvenate himself years after, averaged 19.4 points in the 2018 season with Memphis on a 22-win team. Basically empty numbers, has a lot of talent, and could have been an all-star if he worked his tail off. Evans lost a ton of confidence as his career went by, sniffed only 8 total playoff games as a role player in New Orleans and Indiana, banned from the NBA after the 2019 season. His career might very well be over. Tony Campbell of the Minnesota Timberwolves, a role player for most of his career, the 6'7" small forward came off the bench for the 80s Pistons and Lakers. After averaging 6.2 points with Showtime in '89, he signed as an unrestricted free agent with the newly expansion Timberwolves franchise. All of a sudden, his scoring increased dramatically. In over 38 minutes of playing time, that's what happens when a role player went from a 57-win team coming off the NBA Finals to a 22-win team with below average players. The Wolves won 29 games the year after. Campbell averaged 21.8 points, attempted almost 20 shots a game those 2 seasons. Only had the chance to do that once in the 254 games before joining the Wolves. Put up almost 17 a game his 3rd season with Minnesota. After leaving the franchise, he was back to being a role player for the contending Knicks, averaged under 8 a game. His postseason stats, being on good teams, 4.2 points in just 8 minutes played, just proves how bad the Minnesota Timberwolves were before Kevin Garnett's arrival. Unprecedented for a role player to average 23 a game after putting up 6 points his first 5 seasons. Ricky Davis, the perfect example of an individual who puts up empty numbers. The 6'5" shooting guard played a dozen seasons in the NBA, averaged 20.6 points in year 5 with the Cavs, played a whooping 39.6 minutes a game, shot 41% from the field on a 19-win team. No wonder why Cleveland was able to land the #1 pick after the season, getting LeBron James. Although Davis's game was exciting to watch, didn't provide much when he didn't have the ball in his hands, tends to dribble a lot and doesn't play any defense, most memorable for his near triple-double mid-March against the Jazz, sitting on 26 points, 12 dimes, 9 rebounds. With 6 seconds left, his teammate inbounded the ball to Davis, who attempts a shot at his own basket, gobbles up the uncontested rebound. The biggest failed triple-double in NBA history. Doing stuff like that, the perfect description to show what type of player he is. Out the league by age 30, Davis only played in 11 total playoff games with the Celtics in 04 and 05. Viewed as selfish and flamboyant with tons of athleticism, he drove coaches crazy, played with 6 different teams, remembered by many the definition of a stat chaser. Pervis Ellison, most remembered for his amazing NCAA title run with Louisville, earned the nickname Never Nervous Pervis, the first overall pick in the '89 draft at 6'9", 240. Former teammate Danny Ainge nicknamed him Out of Service Pervis after underperforming his rookie season. Ellison spent 11 seasons in the NBA, averaged an underwhelming 9.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, struggled badly his first 2 years, but did average 20 points, grabbed over 11 boards on 54% shooting his 3rd season, good enough to win Most Improved Player, but injuries piled up on him, very inconsistent, put up 17.4 points the year after, everything went downhill from there, only played a total of 4 playoff games. Don May, a player most of you never heard of, drafted by the Knicks in 1968 out of Dayton, averaged 3.5 points his first 2 seasons with New York, all of a sudden went from a championship 60-win team putting up less than 3 points a game to a whooping 20.2 points for the 22-win Buffalo Braves his 3rd season. The 6'4" small forward averaged 35 minutes, shot 47% from the field, the biggest definition of a one-hit wonder. Traded to Atlanta the year after, fell off to averaging under 8 points. His second highest scoring year, 7.9 points, one of the most random players in NBA history to average 20 points in a season. Andrea Bargnani, the first overall pick in the 2006 draft, the perfect definition of empty points on an awful team. It was an absolute travesty. Over his 10 seasons in the NBA, the 7-footer only had 1 season with a winning record, which was his rookie year. Bargnani averaged 21.4 points on 45% shooting, which meant absolutely nothing since it was the season after Chris Bosh left for Miami. The Raptors went 40 and 42 the last season with Bosh, but went 22 and 60 with Bargnani as the first option, averaged 19.5 points the year after. Defensively, he was god-awful, gave no effort whatsoever, couldn't rebound or pass, way worse than his career averages of 14.3 points out the NBA by age 30 with little to no work ethic. The pathetic Knicks even gave up 2 picks to land him, was injury prone, combined with poor conditioning. Bargnani will be remembered as one of the biggest European busts all time. Mike James of the Toronto Raptors in 05-06, arguably the biggest one-hit wonder, at least in recent NBA history. The 6'2" point guard averaged a whopping 20.3 points, 5.8 assists on 47% shooting at 30 years old. James's Raptors won 27 games, the second option behind Chris Bosh, even took as many shots as Bosh, put up empty numbers, a shoot-first point guard in a contract year, cashed out with Minnesota after, having a career 9.9 point average in 12 seasons with the NBA. James's second highest scoring season, 11.8 points, only had 3 years of scoring double digits. Toronto shockingly let him play 37 minutes a game in 06, very shocking for a guy who's nothing more than just an average player. Other players who almost averaged 20 points a game but didn't: Harrison Barnes empty numbers for Dallas, Eddie Curry in 2007 for the Knicks, fell off after, Aaron Brooks 2010 at 19.6 points a game for Houston, didn't put up more than 12 points any other year. Honorable mentions includes Michael Adams of the Denver Nuggets in the 1980s, Rudy Gay of the Memphis Grizzlies, Dana Barros of the Boston Celtics, who made one All-Star team in 95, Isaiah Ryder, a 16-point per game scorer, didn't have good longevity, won the 94 dunk contest. I'm not going to put Andrew Wiggins on this list yet since he's still 25 years old, has a chance to prove doubters wrong, still has the talent to become a future All-Star if he puts in the work, and Jabari Parker doesn't look too promising right now. Put up 20 points a game his 3rd season, could end up being on the honorable mentions list. Thank you so much for watching this video. Who do you think is the worst player in NBA history to average 20 points a game in a season? Let me know in the comments below. I love all of you. See you next time.